Being charged with felony aggravated assault in Creek County is a serious matter that can expose you to years in prison, substantial fines, and the long-term consequences of a felony conviction. However, an arrest is not a conviction. Every aggravated assault case depends upon the facts, the evidence, and whether the prosecution can prove every element of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. An experienced criminal defense attorney will carefully examine the circumstances of the alleged offense to determine whether the state's evidence is legally sufficient. Challenging the state's evidence, one of the strongest defenses, is requiring the prosecution to prove every required element of the crime. The state must establish that the defendant willfully and unlawfully committed an assault and battery and that the circumstances elevated the offense to aggravated assault. If the evidence is inconsistent, contradictory, or based upon unreliable witness testimony, reasonable doubt may exist. In many cases, witnesses provide conflicting accounts of what occurred. Surveillance video, medical records, body camera footage, text messages, and physical evidence may contradict the allegations. Thorough investigation frequently uncovers weaknesses in the prosecution's case. Self-defense. Oklahoma law recognizes a person's right to defend themselves when confronted with unlawful force. If you reasonably believed force was necessary to protect yourself from imminent harm and used only the amount of force reasonably necessary under the circumstances, self-defense may provide a complete defense to the charge. Whether self-defense applies often depends upon who initiated the confrontation, whether the perceived threat was immediate, and whether the defendant's response was reasonable. Defense of another person. A person may also lawfully use reasonable force to protect another individual from an imminent attack. If the evidence demonstrates that you were attempting to prevent someone else from being injured rather than acting as the aggressor, this defense may significantly affect the outcome of the case. Lack of great bodily injury. Because great bodily injury is an essential element of many aggravated assault charges, one defense is showing that the injuries do not satisfy the legal definition. While an injury may be painful or require medical treatment, it does not necessarily constitute great bodily injury under Oklahoma law. Medical records, expert testimony, and photographs often become critical evidence on this issue. Misidentification. Assault cases often arise from chaotic situations involving multiple participants. Poor lighting, stress, intoxication, or limited opportunities to observe the incident can result in mistaken identification. If witnesses cannot reliably identify the person responsible, the prosecution may be unable to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Accident or lack of criminal intent. Not every injury results from criminal conduct. Some incidents are genuine accidents occurring during sporting events, horseplay, or other lawful activities. If the contact was accidental rather than willful and unlawful, the prosecution may fail to establish the required elements of aggravated assault. False allegations. Unfortunately, false accusations do occur. Personal disputes, divorce proceedings, custody battles, neighborhood disagreements, and retaliation may motivate someone to exaggerate or fabricate allegations. An effective defense includes examining the credibility, motives, and prior inconsistent statements of the complaining witness. Constitutional violations. The manner in which law enforcement investigates a case can significantly affect the admissibility of evidence. If officers violated constitutional protections by conducting an unlawful search, obtaining statements in violation of your constitutional rights, or engaging in improper identification procedures, important evidence may be excluded from trial. Negotiating reduced charges. Even when the evidence appears substantial, the facts may support reducing a felony aggravated assault charge to a lesser offense. Factors such as limited injuries, lack of criminal history, cooperation with law enforcement, or weaknesses in the prosecution's evidence may create opportunities for favorable plea negotiations. If you have been arrested for felony aggravated assault in Creek County, do not assume the charges are unbeatable. Every case presents unique facts, and a careful review of the evidence may reveal defenses that significantly improve the outcome.